Skillets, my name is Jessica Danielle. If you know me, if you don't, then hey, how's it going? Do you hear that? What is that? It sounds like an ad? Do I hear an ad coming? I think I hear an ad coming. This video was sponsored by Best Fiends. I'm sure you've heard of the game. It's actually really addicting. Best Fiends is a free puzzle adventure game where you collect and build a team of fiends to defeat slugs by matching same colored objects. I'm on level 32, so try and beat me and tell me what level you are on. This month you could play the Easter egg challenge where you could win amazing and rare rewards. If you beat all 16 challenges, you could win the all new bunny character. I want that one.
What are you playing?
Best Fiends.
Why?
Because you told me to.
Yeah, I did! Worst high five in the entire world.
Download the game for free, and if you download now using the link down below, you will get $5 worth of diamonds and gold for free. Guys, I'm so addicted to this game. I was up till like 7 in the morning playing it. Speaking of staying up all night, I read so many creepy urban legends that I just did not want the lights off. So I'm gonna share those with you. So the first story I have for you guys is the Hook Man. The Hook Man is an urban legend where a pair of teens race off in a fright after hearing on the radio about a murderer on the loose with a hook for a hand. When they got home and got out of their car, they found a bloody hook hanging from one of the door handles on their car. In the original story, they both survive, but in the tale that's passed around today, the boyfriend is murdered and the girl is close to death. A lot of people say that this is just a story to scare teens into not going out and making out with their boyfriends alone in the middle of the night. That just does not stop people, just letting you know. But a lot of people have their own stories. Listen to this one. A teenage couple is parked late at night on Lover's Lane. The boy gets out of the car and heads to the bushes to use the restroom but doesn't return. After waiting for what seems like an eternity, his girlfriend finally hears what she thinks are his footsteps approaching. Only it's not his footsteps. It's something scraping back and forth across the roof of the car. She hears a loud scream. She gets out and sees her car has been tied to a tree with a rope. She looks up and sees her boyfriend hanging from the tree, and the squeaky noises were his shoes scraping the top of the car. That is so terrifying. Like, what would you do? I don't even know what I would bounce. I'd be so out. I'd be like, bye. Now this next urban legend, I really love this one. It's more creepy than anything. Ugh. A newlywed couple, Heather and Nathan, were driving up the California coast to spend their dream honeymoon in a quaint bed and breakfast. They had hoped to arrive before dark, but there was a super heavy fog, so that kind of slowed them down. Now the road was really curvy and windy, so as they were making a turn, they spotted a hitchhiker just walking alone, all by herself. It was a young woman in a wispy white dress standing on the shoulder with her thumb out. Nathan didn't want to help her, but Heather really did. She said, "Stop the car, turn around, we have to give her a ride." He kept saying, "We're late, this isn't a good idea," and she just kept saying, "Please, we need to help her, we need to give her a ride." Nathan pulled off the road, turned around, and picked her up. He asked where she lived. She said that she lived 10 miles down the road. She said, "There's an intersection with an abandoned gas station. Across from there's a white house. They're waiting for me." As they were driving, they tried to talk to her, but she wasn't responding, so they just thought she fell asleep. She was kind of silent the entire way. After about 15 minutes, he noticed the abandoned gas station, so he asked, "Hey, is this it?" She didn't reply. He asked again, "Hey, is this the intersection?" She didn't reply. Heather turned around, gasped, and said, "Nathan, she's gone." He was like, "What do you mean she's gone?" He looked back there. She literally disappeared. They pulled up to the house anyways, and the lights turned on. An elderly couple came out and said, "Can I help you?" Nathan begins to say, "I don't know, we just picked up a girl. She needed a ride." The man said, "And then she asked you to bring her here?" And he was like, "Yes." And he said, "And then she was gone?" Heather nodded. He goes, "You aren't crazy. You're not the first person to do this. She was our daughter. Her name was Diane. She passed away 7 years ago, killed by a hit-and-run driver on the highway. They never caught whoever did it. I guess her spirit won't rest until they do." They talked to them for a minute. They were both in shock, and then they just decided to leave. Oh, that's so creepy. The next urban legend I have is the babysitter and the man upstairs. This urban legend dates back to the 60s, where a babysitter keeps getting a creepy phone call from a man who keeps saying, "Did you check on the children?" Basically, this teenage girl was asked to babysit. The parents said, "The children are already in bed. All you have to do is stay here. Just make sure nothing goes down." As she's watching TV, she gets a phone call. She thinks it's from the parents. A man on the other end says, "Did you check the children?" and then hangs up. She didn't really think anything of it. She thought it was the parents checking on the children, but they got cut off. This person kept calling and calling and calling, asking her the same thing. She started getting super scared and she called the police. The police were telling her, "There's nothing we can do about it. It's just a phone call. If you're not seeing anyone in the house, I don't know what you want us to do." Finally, the police decided to trace the phone call back. They said the phone call was coming from someone upstairs. The police told her to get out of the house, so as soon as she ran to the front door, she heard the door upstairs open. She looked up and there was a tall figure in the light coming from the room. She opened the door and the police was there. They caught the guy that was in the house, and all he wanted was for her to go upstairs to check on the children. But really, he just wanted to murder her, because he had already murdered the 3 children. Oh, that's so creepy. Just like someone being in your house when you think you're alone. Oh, and murdering your kids, that's like really rude. Oh, never answering the phone again. Now this next one is called the White Death. Guys, I've been wanting to talk about this for so long, but I'm such a chicken. I'll just do it. Oh, this is so creepy. You know those chain emails we used to get where it was like, if you don't forward this to 10 people, the devil's gonna get you in your sleep, or something like super scary. I didn't have 10 friends, let alone 10 friends that had emails. No one used emails. So I would stay up at night being like, the devil's not getting me tonight. I believe in literally everything. So this one, I'm so spooked out, but too late, I already know about it. And now you guys will. So this is a story about a little girl in Scotland who hated life so much, she wanted to destroy every last trace of herself. She committed suicide, and shortly after, her family found out what she did. Weirdly enough, her whole family died a few days later too, but their limbs had been torn apart. Because she tried to destroy every trace of herself, if anyone ever talks about this, or even learns about her death, she will come and find you. She knocks repeatedly at your door, each knock getting louder and louder and louder. Once you open the door, she kills you for fear that you'll talk about her existence to somebody else. Like most urban legends, this probably is not real, but it's still interesting to think about. Also, I'm never gonna open my door again. Now this next one is more gross than creepy. I always get scared at anything that like crawls at me. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'll try the best I can. This urban legend is called the Tiki Tiki. What is it? Tiki Tiki. This is a Japanese urban legend about the ghost of a young woman who was hit and cut in half by a train. Oh. Now she's considered a vengeful spirit. She moves around on either her hands or elbows, basically dragging her torso, making a scratching sound, kind of like tiki tiki. Ew, if something was crawling at me, literally going like tiki. Oh my god. If she encounters anyone at night and they're not fast enough, she will catch them and cut them in half just like her. This almost sounds like that other, I think it's Japanese urban legend with the one, I talked about this in another video, where her face, like, she has a smile cut right here. Oh, that's so gross. So gross. So here's a story about that urban legend. As a young schoolboy was walking home at night, he spotted a beautiful young girl standing by a windowsill resting on her elbows. They smiled at each other for a moment. The boy wondered what a girl was doing in an all-boys school, but before he could wonder more about the girl, she jumped out of the window and revealed her lower half was missing. Frightened, he stood in the sidewalk, but before he could run, she cut the boy in half. That's rude. I grew up on this urban legend. This one, I hate it. This is the urban legend of La Llorona. Basically, La Llorona means the weeping woman. So this story is about a beautiful woman named Maria. Maria knew that everyone thought she was beautiful, so she thought she was better than everyone else. She met this guy and he just wanted to win her heart. He just wanted her to fall in love with him. He was handsome, he could play guitar, he could sing beautifully, he would even serenade her, and she just wouldn't come to the window because she was playing hard to get. Finally, things worked out. They were engaged, they got married, they had kids. They just seemed to be a super happy family. But after a few years, he kind of went back to his travel life and he just was never home. The only reason he would come home was to visit his kids, so she got jealous. He just didn't really care about her anymore. He even talked about leaving her for a new woman. She was really hurt and more angry than anything at him, and even at her children, because she was jealous. One day, her and her kids were walking by the river. Her husband was with another woman, and they stopped to say hi to the children, but didn't even look at Maria at all. She continued to walk with her kids and watched her husband leave with this woman. She was so angry that she threw her kids into the river. She realized what she had done, so she rushed over to pull them out of the water, but it was too late, and they were gone. The next morning, someone found her dead body on the riverbank. They decided to bury her where she had fallen, but the first night Maria was in the grave, people started hearing things. They heard sounds of crying by the river. It wasn't the wind, it wasn't the river, it was La Llorona screaming, "Where are my children?" And they saw a woman walking on the riverbank wearing a long white robe, the same robe Maria was buried in. A lot of people see her at night constantly crying for her children. They stopped calling her Maria and they started calling her La Llorona. And that's how people know her to this day. So now children are warned not to go out in the dark because La Llorona will come and get you and never return you. Now growing up, that's what my mom would tell me. First she'd say, don't go out in the dark because La Llorona's gonna get you. And if I didn't listen to her, she would say, don't make me call El Cucuy. El Cucuy is another video. Wow. I was scared a lot as a kid. That makes so much sense now. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this spooky video. I love making these. You guys know it. If you guys want more, let me know down below. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, what did you expect? Comment down below what your favorite urban legend is and if I've talked about it. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please subscribe for more. If you want to, you don't have to. I'm just saying. All of my social media is down there. I missed you guys so much and I love you, and I will see you guys when I see you guys. Adios, bitchachos.
Do you love me?